All right, let's jump to our next thing here. So we're lucky enough to have NFT Supply from SatGO. SatGO is a mobile app on the iOS App Store. You guys can go download today, and it's your easiest on-ramp, off-ramp for you guys. It's from Spark. He actually had me do the bridge today. I had right before the show. I was still waiting for a damn Bitcoin block to do that, so I might just do it while he's sitting here with us. But I'm happy to bring you guys. He was out there with the Spark team during the little hiatus that they had since they launched. So really excited to talk about that as well.
No, I'm just kidding.
The Party Fest. Shout out. But let's bring them up. NFT Supply. Welcome back to OnChain Revolution. Thanks for being here, sir.
What's going on, guys?
How you doing?
Be here. Good to be here.
Nice. Yeah. So go ahead. I was just gonna say, you obviously traveled out west to be with the team and all that great stuff. But before that,
real quick.
Go ahead.
Since we had you on last time, I just want to make sure everyone knows kind of who you are and kind of what you're building. So if you can just tell real quick of your backstory and kind of lead us up until like your Bitcoin journey.
Yeah, for sure. Ben, NFT Supply on the timeline, founder of SatGO, building the best mobile app for Bitcoin L1 assets and Spark. It's your go-to Bitcoin and Spark wallet on mobile, and soon will allow you to trade tokens on Spark, earn creator rewards, and a whole lot of good stuff that we'll get into on the show.
Nice.
Amazing.
Go ahead.
And just kind of keep going. So obviously Spark's something brand new. When did you first see Spark, and what made you want to start building there?
I think that I first saw it kind of around Bitcoin Vegas timeframe. When was that? A few months ago? 6 months ago at this point. First heard about it then, had a call initially with guys, Ethan Marcus and Leo from Spark at that time. Saw that Magic Eden was also going in that direction. And given that a lot of our infrastructure is kind of like intertwined with Magic Eden on the ordinal side of things, I was, interested to, see what was going on that side of things. And obviously, once you look into the background of who's really behind the company and what they're capable of building and what they actually are doing already to kind of push Bitcoin and Lightning forward, it kind of seemed like if we were going to make a bet on an L2, which I've been hesitant to do so, this seemed like the one to essentially go all in on.
How'd you get on that call? Was it Magic Eden that introduced you? Because I feel like those guys, David Marcus being David Marcus and Ethan being his son, I feel like it's hard to get a phone call with those guys.
I think it was a little easier given that we've shipped product before and kind of had a reputation in this space. It wasn't a random person reaching out to them. It was okay, this is, yet another Bitcoin wallet that, is very adjacent to what you guys are doing. The community that you're trying to penetrate in ordinals, they're, known within that space, probably worth a phone call. Obviously that's changed quite a bit. Initially, we were kind of just designing stuff out and hesitating to build because Magic Eden was building a lot of stuff for them. We were going to do some stuff with them, but then obviously, Magic Eden kind of dropped out and we were okay, well, I guess we're going to go all in on this now and kind of just build everything out ourselves. So that's essentially what we did. And, after trying to test it a bunch of times and getting frustrated doing so both on mainnet and, testnet, I essentially decided to just kind of fly out to the office, which was, obviously in time with Flashnet going down because it went live for an hour. It went up and down maybe 10 different times within that hour. But within that hour, it did 4 million in volume. So there was clearly a demand for it. And not only that, but 100 million requests were pinging them all at once concurrently. So there was clearly demand there. And I kind of just had this, oh shit moment. This is for real right now. And given again, the capable team behind the scenes building all this out, I was like, you know what? You're one of the few teams, as long as you do your communication correctly, you can get away with this right now. As long as you come back absolutely swinging. And communication wise, I know Shizzy, you haven't been the biggest fan of it, but it's improving, right? It's improving.
Yeah. So just a quick rewind. Is that, they went live the first day. I thought it was great. I was really enjoying it. I love the experience. They went down. Obviously, it's fine. And then they went live again. I was like, all right, cool. This is game time this time. A second I walk away from my computer, it's down again. And I come back, and they put out a tweet, and it basically said something like, all right, guys, like, we're going to heads down building. We're going to take some time away. But they never really gave a time slot. Nothing, whether it be an hour. They kept saying soon, which is the meme of the chain, right? Soon. And a little aggravating for someone who, put a bunch of money into the system and and just kind of wants to kind of keep playing. Obviously, I'm a DJ when it comes to that, and I'm not going to put up too much money, but enough to have some fun. And then, the communication just stopped. And then, we did see David Marcus come out and say, hey, the team kind of flew in. I mean, everyone kind of flew in, their partners and stuff. And to find out that you were part of that was really cool, because obviously Luminex, which is the top launch pad there, and then you guys. But what was that experience to kind of get that invite first and kind of be there?
Eye-opening, to say the very least. And I think that at the end of the day, it's like, as much as you love remote life, there's nothing like being like, you are just so much more efficient in person. Like the amount of time it takes to get someone to respond to a message on like a Slack or a Telegram is just totally different when you can just like sit next to the person, tap them on the shoulder and be like, hey, can you look at this? So we were able to build a ton of stuff significantly faster. And yeah, the Luminex guys that were in the office, I've never met them in person. It's only just been like interactions on the timeline, but essentially we've become like good friends from hanging out every single day together, sitting next to each other and like pretty much eating every meal together for 3 weeks. It's supposed to be 3 days. So I can't say enough good things about them. And about the whole team there, like they have a great office setting. They make it very easy for you to be there from 9 a.m. until 3 a.m. Everything from, food, stocked fridge, all that. It's like a classic Silicon Valley type of a open environment. Like you can just walk over to everyone. Everyone has kind of like an open area. When there's a war room, everyone's kind of in 2 different rooms that are, totally open. You got Zooms everywhere. All the team that is remote is just like fully there, like as if you're in person. And it's, it's a cool environment, and I think they have a good company culture over there. They were truly all hands on this entire time, which I think was probably one of the faults for the communication lacking, and that's because quite literally everyone was fully locked in, saying, essentially, what the fuck, like we have to fix this. This has to go live immediately. And again, you can't it's tough to give a timeline, when you don't know what that timeline is, right? So that's why it ended up just being soon, and then turning into a meme. But then obviously, after 3 weeks of, incredibly hard work and a ton of, truly what it was is just like a ton of optimizations, like database optimizations that allow things to happen in fractions of a second quicker than, the things that are causing things to loop significantly less, without getting too technical, just like massive optimizations on both that end and like the server side of things, from a scaling standpoint, that have just, listen, ultimately this kind of a stress test was needed. And I'm, very confident that now when it goes live, it'll be, and listen, every time I play with it on testnet, it's epic. And I think that it's going to be pretty fucking sweet on mainnet when it goes live on December 1st. See, like now that they've committed to a date, it's like it takes like a breath of like a weight off your shoulder. It's like nice to actually like say a date.
Yeah, for sure. You mentioned one thing about pretty much their resources. And from, Shizzy and I have been covering the Bitcoin space since 2023, the big, ordinals movement and largest on-chain economy that we've seen with Bitcoin. And so we've seen a lot of ecosystems or attempts to build ecosystems or, scaling solutions. But I don't think we've seen one that has this much in terms of resources and backing. Would you agree with that? And do you think that's going to make the biggest difference here?
I do think so. Listen, at the end of the day, the biggest thing is not just the backing, it's the distribution, right? Like that's how any network scales. So I think that when it comes to doing so, you need to have a war chest to be able to do that, to integrate with other big players, like Lightspark, the parent company, does all the B2B Lightning payments for Coinbase. That's a heavy hitting name. They do all the Lightning and Bitcoin rails for SoFi in Europe. So I think like being that kind of a behemoth and having like that kind of a team behind you allows you to, from a BD standpoint, pull off things that a normal company just can't pull off, you know. And that's not to like talk down upon any company that's like working their ass off to like, you know, build Bitcoin's future. It's just that like there's levels to this shit. And there are some people that have, you know, been like the CEO of PayPal and been the head of Messenger at Meta and created Libra and had Aptos, Sui, and Lightspark come out of it. You know, there's just like, there's levels. But like, it's admirable that everyone is continuing to build it. Just so like, I do happen to think that because of that background, that they do have the capability to distribute the network the right way. You know, and I think that that goes beyond trading shitcoins, right? It's using Bitcoin as an everyday payment system, similarly to like how Jack Mallers has done an incredible job with Strike, and, you know, and Cash App being able to send Lightning payments and like go buy coffee now at any Square terminal. I think that like things like that are like truly the future. And obviously a lot of things that you're seeing with like neobanks, you know, like apps like Payy, and other apps like that are really, you know, it's gotten to a point where like you really can be totally unbanked now. You can still use your stables. You can use like a debit card at this point. Like you can use Bitcoin as an everyday payment, and being able to do it quickly with Spark, I think this team has the capability to really push and distribute it to, you know, those types of levels. I think that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, 100%. I'm actually curious to kind of see what they build next, right? After, you know, you get past these issues and stuff like that. But so my one question is, if Thanksgiving wasn't this Thursday and everything, what is it ready today? And are they just taking some time off to kind of rest up for the last 3 weeks?
Who wants to launch on Thanksgiving?
Well, okay. Great answer.
Yeah, for sure. I don't.
I think what it is that
trade on Thanksgiving either.
I do. I got nothing else to do.
Listen, some of the team is for sure young degens. There are other members of the team that have a wife and kids that they do need to be with.
Yeah, for sure. And the one thing I wasn't there, but it almost seems like having Luminex out there, you guys out there, or you representing SatGO and the builders with the Flashnet team and Spark team, there was like, you guys could just get so much more done because they get to hear directly from the builders saying, hey, look, I know you guys think that like it's the users that are complaining, but like we have issues here and we have issues. Did you guys have an aha moment at one point to where it was like, damn, we got to do more of these like collab like sessions?
I think there was that was not English. I think there was multiple aha moments that happened there. I would say after 3 weeks of being there, I can speak for myself and I can speak for the Luminex team with that we were all excited to get home. And that's just because like originally it was like, well, okay, we'll be here for 3 days. Okay, we'll extend it another 3 days. And it's like, okay, well, like how much longer are we extending this now? So I feel like it would have been different if we knew like the time frame prior. But I would be shocked if after this launches and it's a massive success, if we didn't all come back together and do like some sort of like celebratory, like we fucking did it kind of a thing. But then at the same time, that's when like the real work starts, right? Like now you got like real people using the fucking platform and like, you know, real volume and real customers, right? Not that like everyone else wasn't already real, but like there's going to be a lot more. So I would argue like that's when you need to be the most heads down and continue really pushing and distributing, like I said. But I hope that listen, the vibes were great, truthfully. Like everyone really just like got along, and you know, everyone was pretty instrumental in like really getting this to the next space. And the truth is like Flashnet and the Spark team like are very receptive to like, the thing is like they're not in the Cabal chats or like the alpha chats or whatever you want to call them. That's by design, right? They don't want to be in those chats, but like I'm in them, and like the Luminex guys are in them, and we're able to, you know, be like, hey, this is what people are saying, just so like you understand like what people are saying right now. And they're very receptive to it, and like they're very aware of everything that's going on. So it's like they're definitely not shooting dark, you know. Like I definitely give suggestions. Sometimes I like them, sometimes I don't. But like that's life, you know. And I think that the point is they're super receptive, and I'm bullish.
Yeah, man, 100%. So what was the actual problem? Was it Flashnet? Was it Spark? Or was it just a mixture of a bunch of different things?
It's a combination of the two, because the thing is like, it's like a whole distributed system, right? Where you're not just like processing transactions through Flashnet, but then they need to be synced up with all the different watchtowers and SSPs, like the Spark service providers. So there's just like a big distributed system doing a lot of concurrent calls at the same time. And, sometimes like if one thing fails, like an emergency fail safe will go in and it'll block everything else from succeeding. And then you have this cascading effects of all these things that are errors that you can fix. They're just a pain in the ass because you got to manually go through and do them, or like write a script to like go through and process each of them. So without like getting into the weeds of it, like just from like an understanding of like how these systems work, like there's just a shit ton of moving parts. So that's why it took wasn't just like Flashnet, wasn't just like Spark. It was like the two of them together had to make sure. Like Spark, to be fair, didn't like go down. Spark has like always worked. It's just that like Spark has never experienced that type of traffic and volume that Flashnet brought. But now Spark can definitely take that and then some. So like obviously that was like the greatest part from like all of this. It's like now we know that it can actually take, thousands and thousands of people concurrently doing I don't know if I'm allowed to share it, but like pretty fucking legit transaction per second, far more than Ethereum and far more than Bitcoin, right? So like you're going to experience like super fast Bitcoin over here. It's not like the thousands of TPS like you're getting in Solana, but it's fast. But yeah, without like getting into like the technicalities, like that's what happened. Very much a both sides thing, but again, like that's the thing when you're working with these like big systems like that, it's like one little thing could break everything. And then it's like you're playing whack-a-mole, right? As opposed to like fixing the root cause. So that's initially when you want to solve a problem, initially you want to put a Band-Aid on it, right? Just to fix it and get it going. But ultimately, like if you want to fix it, like the core thing, other shit has to break for you to do that. And that doesn't take 12 hours,
Yeah.
But ultimately, the result is good.
Yeah, and I think Spark is actually, after talking to you just now, I feel like Spark is set up uniquely because you have David Marcus kind of being the head of Spark itself, Light Spark, big partners doing big boy things, right? And then you have the fun side of it with Ethan bringing Flashnet over, and I don't know if we've seen like an environment like that to where it's like this is focused on the degen, which in the long run is going to work out well for them because it's stress tested Spark, right? So in the end, you have Flashnet doing the AMM stuff, the computational stuff, which is needed for it to continually grow. After all this, though, do you feel like we'll have a pretty fun session starting December 1st? Are you pretty confident with that?
I'm pretty confident on December 1st. Yeah. There was a lot of back and forth before everyone agreed on that date.
Yeah.
If it's not December 1st, I'm going to crash out.
But yeah, so I would love to see that, by the way. No, I was joking. But so I felt like if they just were able to last like one more hour, it would have been fine, because normally, I mean, we're kind of seeing it right now on Monad. It's usually like the first like 4 hours are crazy or 2 hours are crazy, and then it's kind of dies down a lot, like 90%. And I like in my head, I was like, just get through the first hour, and they got through the first hour. But then they were like, all right, we got to. There was a couple of shutdowns in the first hour, so I get it. And they had a backlog of problems, and they didn't want to keep causing more and more problems. But I just feel like once they're live for like an hour or two, I feel like it's going to be just cake on after that.
I mean, listen, I've been trying to do my best to make sure that is the case by, I've been orange pilling, so to speak, my homies in the Solana trenches that, definitely did really well during like the ordinals chaos of 2023, 2024. Then they, left and kind of just like chased whatever the next meta was. And they're all down to trench on Bitcoin because nothing on Solana is going past an 80K market cap, right? So like they need a new shiny object to come after. But the hope is that this isn't like the shiny object, they stick here and, they fully get immersed. And I think that like, once you see a few people on the timeline being like, I turned 0.01 Bitcoin into 1 Bitcoin, that's going to be like, oh shit, because this is fucking crypto. And the only thing that works is like number go up. So if people are making money, then usually more eyes come to the platform. If you have a bunch of rugs, you're cooked. And the thing is also, is that, like you've noticed, it takes 3 block confirmations to deposit. And that's another big thing that's actively being worked on, not just by myself, but by the Spark guys as well. Unique solutions to be able to get you to deposit into Spark significantly quicker, because the whole waiting 3 blocks is a massive pain in the ass. What you can do, which is way quicker, is you can actually do it via Lightning. You can go from Lightning to Spark really easily. So if you already have Bitcoin on Lightning, that definitely works in your advantage. We're going to likely be adding Lightning support into the app not significantly, more so to allow you to bridge into Lightning straight into Spark behind the scenes. You're not going to like feel like it's Lightning, but like it's there under the hood. But that's amongst other things. And like, there's unique things you can do there also with, Apple Pay experiences, because right now there's no real like stable coin on Bitcoin right now. There is USDB, which, is starting to get more liquidity on Spark. But I'm more so talking like a USDC kind of a thing. And kind of getting those to like kind of work hand in hand with the Spark ecosystem. Like, I know that there's a lot of stuff being worked on behind the scenes from a BD standpoint that is going to hopefully go live soon, because I think that will only make distribution easier, obviously, because the easier it is to get from Solana, Base, and wherever else into Spark, the better it is.
Yeah, 100%. But I really appreciate you taking the time and giving us the Spark stuff. But I definitely want to talk to you about your project, right, with SatGO, and everything you guys are offering. Obviously, it's mobile. It's amazing, right? I'm actually going to use it right now. So you basically just take it. You go to this main app, right, and then I click my wallet up top there. And that kind of gives me Shizzy, everything, right? And then you do have this option right there that says, Spark Bitcoin, right? So I basically just click right there.
You just click Bitcoin into Spark. It'll automatically fill in your Spark static deposit address, which is where it's your Bitcoin to. And then after 3 block confirmations, it'll automatically bring it over to Spark for you.
And it will just show up in the wallet the same way it's already kind of sitting there?
Okay. Yeah, you'll see in your portfolio, you have Bitcoin and then you have Bitcoin Spark.
Gotcha. And can I hit max, or do I need something for gas?
Should be good. It should auto-calculate that for you. We're about to
Perfect. Yeah, it does. Spark deposit came up with a little warning thing, and then I hit OK. Boom, done. Sending.
All right, good shit.
So
awesome.
Yeah.
And there's
try to make it pretty easy.
Yeah, and there's reasons why people might want to do this, right? Using SatGO, or maybe I don't know if you're allowed to say anything about that, but I saw some stuff on crypto Twitter about it. So I'm putting you on the spot.
Yeah, no, listen, I can give a quick little preview of one of the things. This is not on the App Store yet. It's kind of blurry over here, but you can kind of.
Oh, I see some logos on the left side. So
that's exciting. There's going to be a token launchpad within there, and there's going to be this full token trading experience that is, I think, super slick. And I think I know that everyone else that has played with it has felt the same way, which is really cool to see. But ultimately, we'll see what everyone else thinks. But yeah, you'll be able to launch tokens. You'll be able to earn creator rewards for doing so. Kind of like how Pump.Fun works. You're going to get 0.3%, like 30% of the net trading fees for deploying tokens. You're going to be able to trade tokens cross-platform. So if a token is launched in SatGO, you'll see it because we highlight that it was any token that's launched from SatGO ends in SAT, S-A-T. Kind of like how the Luminex ones end in HODL or HODL, whatever the way you pronounce it. But you'll be able to trade tokens on Luminex in the app. You'll be able to trade tokens on UTXO, and Sat Stack, I think, is going to be a Sparks thing too. So pretty much anything. It's platform agnostic when it comes to trading tokens on it. But yeah, full experience. You can, and also support for the widget. So if you want to keep track of Spark tokens on the widget, you can do that too. We have a new watch list, so you can actually favorite tokens and curate that. You can add and remove liquidity and check your LP positions all within the app as well. Still supports runes if anyone decides they still want to trade those, but it's
what are those?
Exactly.
Good.
But I was trying to tell you that this summer. But
you were. That's very true. And it's funny you said that because, like, the guy who, obviously you make money from runes trading, said that, and we should have actually took you on. We should have actually like looked at it because at the time I was a huge dog holder at that time. So, but
yeah, no, I hear you. Some other neat things that we've done is for going from other chains. We now support USDC on both Solana and ETH. So if you want to go from, that's annoying because of the blur, but if you want to go from Solana straight into Spark, you can do that. The current version of the app that you have doesn't do that, but this one that will be going live December 1st does. So it doesn't just go right into L1, it goes right to your static deposit address, and then you just need to wait the 3 confirmations, which feels a little bit quicker when it's coming from Solana or Ethereum. But yeah, Sol, ETH, USDC on Sol, USDC on ETH support.
So real quick, so on your app, you said I'll be able to see the Luminex launches, the graduated and the pre-graduated.
Yep.
And the UTXO fund ones, or
you'll see everything. Yeah. So everything goes through Flashnet ultimately, and we're just using Flashnet as its own aggregator. And then obviously, like, we can sort things in different ways that we want to do that, but for the most part, you should be experiencing very similar, list of tokens on all the different platforms.
I love that, by the way. I think that was the hardest part for me. Was, like I said, I had to walk away from my computer for 10 minutes.
Looks a little like Pump.
Yeah, it looks good.
I don't know if you
can. So like walking kind of like away from the computer and stuff like that was like the hardest part. So now I can just take my phone with me. I won't even have to be at my computer anymore to do this on December 1st. And December 1st is kind of when you're going live.
That is the day the second that Flashnet tweets we're live, you will see us live.
I'm excited about it because I feel like they have the marketing and all that stuff like prepared. I mean, one of the things that we realized, especially with the Bitcoin ecosystem, if you have this meme coin environment, you got to have the East involved as well. That was one thing we were worried about with Spark. But then we saw a Spark, Chinese account that has that whole community curating it, and so I think that Flashnet, Spark, and the Bitcoin ecosystem has an opportunity here. Look, Monad came out yesterday. They're doing okay. But like, there's a torch that's going to be passed, liquidity torch that's going to be passed away from Solana because people are tired of getting burnt out over there. And I hope that they capture that.
I'm with you, man. No one hopes it as much as I do.
Yeah, man. So this has been absolutely awesome. I really appreciate your time. Is there anything that you want to kind of talk about that we haven't talked about yet, or?
I think we've covered everything, man. I feel like I've been the one rambling here, and I don't want to take more of your time.
I mean, it's all we got is time, man. We got what? I got 6 more days, or how many more days? So I could talk for another 4 more days, but no, it's been. But
yeah, and then you got to lock into the BTC trenches.
Again,
there you go.
It's been a long time. It's been since
we'll do it live though.
January. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, will there be that 12-hour notice? Is that something that we're still going to get?
I think you actually might even get more. You probably will get like a 24-hour notice if I had to guess, but like at the very least 12. And also we might launch the app like maybe a day before, just to like let people get familiar with like what's about to happen, as opposed to letting you wait and update. So we'll put out a tweet about that too.
Yeah, man, absolutely amazing. I really appreciate your time, buddy.
Appreciate
and if you have any updates or anything, want to come back on, send me a text. Get you on.
I got you, man. I got you. I've got you this whole time. You know that.
Yeah. Honestly,
he's the one that's
I've been
calming you down, Shizzy, because Shizzy's all like like the cat meme,
dude,
with the keyboard.
I just want to do hood rat shit with my friends. That's it.
Well, yeah, appreciate you, Ben, and look forward to SatGO. Because guys, if you're looking for a mobile application, it's the only one for meme coin trading once everything goes live, because you got it in your hand there. And we will talk to you soon, sir. Take it easy.
Thanks, man. Absolutely awesome. Really cool to have an update. I think that was the best part. You know what I mean? Really understanding what that thing. I've actually learned a lot from that.
Yeah, no, look, I mean, he's pretty transparent, right? Like, he is a transparent guy, but he's telling us exactly what he experienced over at the headquarters, the HQ over there, which honestly, I think that they needed that more than anything, the Spark and the Flashnet teams, is because when you have builders that are building in your ecosystem, it's like you almost want to move them there because, they're going to be the best people to give you feedback as well. So I'm excited about next week. This week exciting with Monad still going on. Next Monday, super exciting. We're going to be, in the trenches over there. We'll do it live as well. It's going to be a fun time.
Yeah, hopefully it's during a show. That'd be cool to do a full episode where we're just streaming. I mean, it would definitely go live regular if it's not as well. But I got a feeling it's going to be 6 p.m. on Monday. That's kind of like their sweet spot. Every time they've launched at 6 p.m. So I can't imagine they're going to do anything different. Which is good for China, right? Because China, it's, you don't want to do it at 4 or, at 12 because, it's in the middle of their night. So you kind of want to do it. So I think 6 is that perfect time, but we'll see. I really appreciate you guys, man. We got 158 people in here. Really appreciate every single one of you guys live, not to mention everyone on Rumble, Abstract, Pump Fun, Zora. I mean, everywhere, Twitch, Kick. Really appreciate every single one of you guys.
Absolutely. Without you guys, we could not do this, and we're very grateful for you guys. Also, without our partners, we couldn't do it. So if you could check them out, we would appreciate it very much. Emblem Vault is the interoperability layer of the Bitcoin ecosystem. If you're looking to jump your Bitcoin ordinals or Bitcoin NFTs like counterparty NFTs or Pepes over to Ethereum, you've got to use Emblem Vault. Emblem Vault's been doing it since 2021. They are very, very experienced. Their founders actually been building on Bitcoin, I think, since like 2013, like Mastercoin era, right? So the experience is there for sure. And right now you can actually take your Taproot Wizard ordinal over to Gandhi, which is the largest borrowing and lending application on Ethereum, and take out a loan against it. They are accepting loans against Taproot Wizards right now. And the Emblem team is going to open this up to other environments as well, other EVM layer 2s, and just environments in general. And Solana is one of those places. And speaking of Solana, they have the best AI product in all of Solana called agenthustle.ai. You can go to agenthustle.ai and use their free subscription level, which gives you a couple prompts. You can test it out that way. You can ask Hustle, hey, find me some low cap gems, and he'll bring back a couple gems for you and give you reasons why he thinks that these are solid. You can also do conditional trades with Hustle in the Solana ecosystem. You can trade any SPL token for you, buy or sell limit orders while you're at the gym or going grocery shopping, whatever you need to take care of, he'll take care of it for you. But if you really want to get deep into it, you got to upgrade the subscription levels there. And there is a cost for that, but it's well worth it, in my opinion. And you can get a 30% discount if you use the Hustle token, which is the single token that powers their entire Emblem ecosystem. But it's not just Solana that Hustle operates in. They had partnered with the Hedera Foundation, and Hustle is live on HBAR. So you can find all the up-and-coming meme tokens in Hedera, as well as utility tokens, because there's a lot of those over there, and just get research from Hustle regarding Hedera and their ecosystem there. Conditional orders is active as well over there, and not just HBAR, but BSC is active as well. So this team just keeps grinding and adds more ecosystems there. I truly believe it's going to be a one-stop shop in the near future. So make sure you're checking out all the tool sets and options there. But there is another product in the Emblem ecosystem called Migrate.fun. If you launched a token in the Solana ecosystem on one of these meme launch pads like Pump Fun, Believe, or bonk.fun, and you want to migrate to the opposite launchpad or just manage your own LPs with Meteora, you can do that through migrate.fun. They are the experts in this. They are a third party, so they're neutral, but they can guide you through the entire process and help you get the liquidity out of the current launchpad to the new location that you want to go to, right? Of course, your community needs to be on board with that, but they'll guide you through the entire process. They just wrapped up their second cohort, about to go into their third cohort, but they always have large brands that are in each cohort, right? So they have proven and have the kind of testimonials from their past clientele that they've helped migrate. So make sure you check that out at migrate.fun. Ask any questions you have there. And then also you can reach out at emblem.vision, where you can learn about all the products I just broke down for you guys. And then Merlin Chain is uniting Bitcoin's strength through the power of AI. They have their Wizard version 2.0 that can guide you through the Merlin Chain ecosystem and also outside the ecosystem. All you got to do is have some Merlin Chain Bitcoin in your Merlin Chain wallet, which is MetaMask or a Bitcoin approved wallet like Uniswap or Unistat, I should say, and Xverse. And you can swap for tokens outside of the Merlin Chain ecosystem, like Solana tokens or BSC tokens as well. But going back to the ecosystem, the Wizard can guide you through and do DeFi functionalities on your behalf, like swapping with Merlin Swap or staking. And speaking of staking, they have a proof of stake security model for the chain, and you can participate in 3 ways. The first way is to stake Bitcoin to earn more Bitcoin. And their first staking vault ended September 30th. It goes for 3 months, and they earned 17% APR. Imagine that, for the stakers that staked Bitcoin and earned 17% APR in Bitcoin reward. So you get paid out in Bitcoin. And then their latest vault is open until January 8th. So you do have some days to get in there and still earn. But they're going to shoot for that same APR. The minimum is 8, maximum 21% there. So make sure you go to merlinchain.io and learn more about that. And then there's 2 other ways to participate in the proof of stake, and it has to do with the Merlin Chain token itself. The first one is the day-to-day, the flexible staking vault, which you earn 15% APR. You claim your rewards daily, and you can do whatever you want with those rewards. You can sell them, hold them in your wallet, compound interest them, whatever you want to do. If you want to withdraw your Merlin Chain tokens, though, there's a 7-day cooldown period for the flexible option there. And the last option is the bonded option, which you earn 45% APR on, and it's locked up for 6 months. But you can still claim your rewards daily because there is a daily release for your rewards. Same thing, do whatever you want with them, but they are locked up for 6 months. And head over to merlinchain.io to learn more about staking and swapping and everything in their ecosystem, and make sure you follow them as well on X. We thank you so much for checking out our partners.
Yep. Great job, man. As always, you got a few more minutes. You guys wouldn't mind checking out OnChain Revolution.io. Some of the best articles dating all the way back to 2023. If you know someone just entering the space, please send them our website. We really feel like you can get started and code up to where we are today. If you guys haven't read this article yet, definitely got to check this out. Bitcoin's 30% pullbacks. It kind of really walks you through the setup that we're about to experience, right? With Bitcoin about to go up, potentially 3 more 30% pullbacks ahead of us, which means there's a lot of upward movement as well. So really excited for the next couple months of Bitcoin. This article will actually get you through everything you need to know. America.fun, a new launch pad. Definitely check that article out. These are, like I said, 3 to 4 minute reads. You can knock them out very quickly. Then if you guys need a VPN to use stuff like Hyperliquid or MEXC, I highly recommend NordVPN. You guys can lock it in right now, $2.99 a month. Lock it in 2 years, set it, forget it. It actually gives you 27 months if you lock it in for 2 years, and you get that price of $3.99 a month. It's like $70 for 2 years. You can lock it in. You're able to use anything you want. There's nobody stopping you. And on top of that, you get to, change where your TikTok location is. You can see different stuff around the world. I have mine on Italy right now. I'm kind of seeing a lot of the Italy TikTok. I learned a thing called Italian brain rot. I don't even know what's going on with that, but it's crazy. You guys can put your location anywhere. Definitely check out our VPN and make sure you guys get a Nord today. And if you guys looking for somewhere to store your crypto, to say you're going on vacation or something, you don't want to keep it on your computer, get yourself a hardware wallet. Highly recommend Ledger. This is actually the only hardware wallet I would actually recommend to anybody. I have used this since 2020. I got this little guy right here, the Nano X, still have it. Highly recommend you guys, if you do use a hardware wallet, it is a Ledger, and make sure you guys are using our app here. Definitely check that out. But remember, guys, we are live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, and 3 p.m. UTC. Check us out all week, guys. Until tomorrow.
Peace.
OnChain Revolution roll call. Market recap. You not bullish enough, no. You not bullish enough, no. Look at the price go. Bitcoin control. Why you still coping? Price action rolling. Don't fall for bear trap. Swapping indexes and putting it up in the sex. I can take profit right now. OnChain is where I be now. You can never look back. They don't want you to know. How did the market react? Fear and greed gotta adapt. Now we bridging the tokens and marching the network right now. You know how crazy we are. Nookies are savages now. They know how crazy we are. Chain abstraction, main attraction. OnChain Revolution.